week 7 of London Marathon training. Good news is the rain stopped, but instead it's really quite cold, and I gotta say it was difficult to motivate myself to get out today. After last week's epic, or at least slightly longer runs than I anticipated or I had planned, I started to feel this week my left leg and shin splints coming on. So today I'm just going to drop the mileage a little bit on the long run that I planned and keep training, but just make it a little easier. I think it's difficult to walk that line between the soreness and aches, which means that your legs are getting stronger and more muscly, and that pain that suggests that actually there's an injury starting. So I'm gonna be sensible, gonna take it easy, drop the mileage a little tiny bit, and actually change the route of this long run. But it's still going to be a good one. If you've watched my videos before, you'll know that I often like to use these as a chance to look for traces of history and stories from the past, which is a great interest of mine. And what many people don't realise is that it wasn't just Berlin in the 20th century that was divided by a wall. There was an equally divisive wall in Oxford, and I'm just going to go and find what are the traces left of it. So we're in the suburb of Cutteslowe, which is north of Oxford, and it's a between the walls estate, like so many across the UK. But there's an interesting story. So the land was bought by the council in the 1920s to build housing on it, but part of the land was sold to a private developer. So you've got these sort of semi-detached houses that the council had built, and then these kind of similar but aspirational houses for the middle class that was built by the private developer. And if you can see here, there's a blue plaque on the wall, because between these two houses across the road here, the private developer actually built a wall to prevent the working class people on this side of the estate from crossing and using the roads of the private middle class estate on the other side. But the wall wasn't finally demolished until the 1950s, so it cut all of this part of Cutteslowe away from the main road. So there was one wall back there and another one just around the corner here. And again, there we've got the typical red brick of between the wall council houses, and again we've got this break with the private houses, and this was where the wall stood. And if I just get over here, there's a photograph which I'll put up, which I believe was taken from that window. Looking out over there, you can still see where the street lamp stood, and that's where Oxford was divided, almost in the same way as East Germany. It's chilling. Anyway, let's keep running. So nearly 8 miles in, and it's one of those moments where you really earn your marathon medal. Running along a busy dual carriageway, middle of nowhere on a tarmac path. It's not an awful lot of fun. I had planned to get out into the countryside, but the ground's just too wet for that. But yeah, this is what the training's all about. Putting in the miles, doing the long runs, just getting it done. And that's going to get me to the starting line and then over the finishing line. So just got to keep going. Right, 12.5 miles in, and I've just had a muscle go. So my right hip flexor, which has been giving me a bit of pain over the past few weeks, has basically just said that it's had enough. So I've tried running, and it's not a good idea. So I'm going to call it a day there. Still a few miles from home, so I'll have to either get my wife to come out and get me or get a taxi. But I think that's going to be enough running for today. Hopefully, all it needs is a bit of foam rolling and a little bit of rest. But no, I shouldn't run on that anymore. At least not today. So, bit of a disappointment. I knew I was tired today, but I wanted to get the miles in. But no, I think also you've got to know when it's time to stop, and that time is now for the moment.
So 24 hours later, with a good night's sleep, a little bit of attention yesterday, my leg is a hell of a lot better. Painful leg is about as bad as my life gets. It is very easy to forget just how difficult lives can be for some people across the globe. And that's why I'm raising money for WaterAid. So please, 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 take a chance to follow the link in the description below, listen to some of the things that WaterAid has got to say, and hopefully together we'll be able to raise the money to buy a clean water supply for a community in the world that doesn't have one at the moment. Thank you.